Yeah, hi team. I provide training on storage automations. I provide training on how to automate BAU tasks of NetApp, Hitachi, PowerMax, Pure, Broket, SandSwitch, and Cloud Volume ONTAP using Python, Terraform, and Ansible. Okay, so this is just a small session I'm sharing here in this channel just to give you an overview about what I have to offer. Okay, so basically, when I use Python for NetApp, right, I create the scripts in four different ways. Okay, so I can use, the built-in functions that we have in NetApp ONTime modules. Like if you want to create volume, then we'll use volume module. If you want to create Q-tree, then you will use Q-tree module. Q-tree class. Okay, and then if you want to create, let's say, quota policies, then I'll use quota class. If you want to let's say do anything with the shelves, then I'll use shelf, okay, class. So these are the classes, built-in classes are there, which you get after you install the NetApp ONTime modules. Okay, or also we can create our own functions, and in that functions we can use that dictionary methods, and we can do that. So that code will be complicated and long code. And there is another option, third option, which is a favorite of my friend. Okay, first one is my favorite, the third one is my friend's favorite, so which is HTTPS URI. Okay, so we just use the HTTPS URI. Let's suppose you want to create a volume, right? So you'll have some URI like your custom management leave slash API slash storage slash volumes, like that, right? So that URI will have, and we'll just use some we'll do the base64 encoding to encode that passwords. So we'll send the URI, HTTPS header, and the passwords. Okay, and then we can do that. Okay, so that's a different way. So I'll also show this, and then I will show using CLI class I can also put the normal commands inside that Python script, and I can also create the automation. Okay, automation script. So these are the four ways I can do using Python. Ansible is different. Ansible I can use roles and modules, and for Terraform it's just this one way. Okay, Terraform, because we cannot write the code in Terraform in multiple ways. So these are the things we know. Let me just show you this. So let me show so here what we are doing is, so basically from Ansible Galaxy we install this module on our, if it's a Windows server that we install Windows server, you also use Linux server as your Python server. You can install the packages, and here basically I wanted to show you how to basically create a volume. Okay, how to create a volume. Okay, so how do you do that? So this is, we are basically importing the host connection from this module, and we are using the host connection to connect to our ONTAP cluster. Okay, so this is the cluster management live, username and password are giving, and verify equal to false, because the SSL certificate that we are using is self-signed certificate. If you use self-signed certificate, then whenever you want to open the system manager through Mozilla Firefox or Chrome or IE, okay, Edge, or any other browser, Opera, then it will show you, it will throw an error that the website you are visiting, it poses a risk. Okay, accept the risk and continue. So to avoid that error, I'm giving verify equal to false. Okay, and then I have to use, this is to use the database connection. Okay, so we use this with statement for when we want to create, open some files or do any file operations in Python, and also we use with for the database connection. Okay, so we are using this to connect to the ONTAP cluster. Okay, so this is actually this the format. And in HTTPS method, right, whether you're using Django, Flask, or any other framework, right, so we use CRUD operations, create, okay, remove, update. Okay, so these are the things we do. Okay, create, C is for create, U is for update, D is for delete. Okay, R is for, I think I probably have to check. Okay, so that's, sometimes I do forget. But in NetApp what we do is, NetApp, if we want to do something, the first thing is get. Okay, get method, and then this is to get the details about some object, storage object. Okay, if you want to create something new, then use post method. Okay, and then if you want to update any attribute of any volume or something, right, then use patch method. Okay, volume, vserver, quota policy, use patch method. That this is to modify. And if you want to delete any object, then use delete method. Okay, so these are the methods we use. These are the HTTPS methods or verbs we use. Okay, So let me go ahead. I need to keep my session short because otherwise it will not be fruitful to you. So let me just go here, and I need to use indentation, so 4 spaces, okay, and whatever space I need to use same space down also, okay. So here what I need to do, I need to create a volume, right? So let me just give so I'm creating object, resource object, okay, from the volume class, okay, but I have to import the volume class, right? So let me do that. Classes will all start with capital letter volume, okay. So these are inbuilt classes, I'm not creating these classes, okay. I'm creating objects, okay. So I'm creating the resource object from the volume class, and I need to give the attributes of the objects, like what will be the name of the volume, what would be the v server where the volume will be holding, which will hold the volume, and what is the aggregate name where the volume will be created, right? So I'm just creating a data volume, right? So it's very easy. So resource dot name, let's say name is vol underscore uh, vol underscore, let's say 2 4, no, not give the name, vol underscore data, okay, that's something like that, okay, which does not exist. And then we have to give the aggregate, resource dot aggregates, okay. And the thing is, here these aggregates that we're using here, right, it will be dictionary, it will be key value pair, okay. So let me just mention this. So name colon, let me just log into the NetApp and check. Okay, let me log into that cluster one. So this is the cluster one, right? Let me log in here. Admin. Zero. Now here AGGI show. I'll pick the data aggregate. Okay, I'll not pick the root aggregate. Okay, so now I have to also check what are the volumes are there. So you see here data vol dot data is not there, so I can use that to create it. So I can pick that name. So let me just pick the aggregate name. That's fine. Resource dot name, resource dot aggregates, and then I have to give the SVM name, right? So I have to check what is the vServer name. SVM1, right? So I'll use that data vServer. So resource dot SVM. Name colon, let me just give the SVM name, which is SVM1 only, which is good. Now what I have to do is resource dot post, okay. Now I'm creating this, right? I'm creating this resource, and I'll print the volume that so I'm creating a volume using this this volume class is having it will have its own properties, and the object we're creating resource, right, will have these properties, right? Name, aggregate, SVM, and there's a post method we are running, we're executing on this object to create that volume, okay. And then we'll print the resource, which is nothing but the newly created volume, okay. And then I will just execute the Python script. If I get an error, then I'm not using exception handling here, try and except blocks, because I just want to keep it short. So if I get any runtime error, then it will halt my code. So which I normally, to avoid that, I use exceptions. So here the code ran successfully. You can see the UID, the aggregates is using the vol data, right? So you can see that, okay. If I'm not giving a size, right, the size will be 20 MB by default, okay. So just do a vol show, enter. You see here, right, this is created, okay. So this just, I just wanted to show you, is very short and crispy session to let you know about this. And this is the basically storage automation syllabus. So I provide training on NetApp, automation, and Hitachi, and my friends provide training on Commvault, Rubrik, and Rocket Sandwich, okay. So these are the contacts of different trainers, okay. And if I will also help companies to for the talent acquisition, the HS will contact us and we will keep them, we'll refer the students to them. So that's also something we do. And this is the testimonials of the customer reviews of our students, you can see here. And if you see the syllabus of storage automation, right here, we cover everything whatever there is in syllabus, right? You do not have to have knowledge of Python, Ansible and Terraform. I'll teach you all the things from basic, okay? And then I'll teach you, how to write the codes, okay? You can do end-to-end automations using Python, Ansible and Terraform. Terraform I use only for the NetApp on-premise and the Cloud Volume ONTAP, okay? I do not use Terraform for Hitachi or anything. Python and Ansible I use mostly, but Terraform only for the CVO and NetApp on-premise, okay? And after this training you'll be able to write your own codes, and I can also assist you for the Python certification if you're willing to sit for it, okay? So I'll stop the session here, and basically what I do is, in this let me walk through about this automation training. So initially I'll teach you Python, then I'll teach you ONTAP REST API, how the ONTAP REST API works, API, using API references, how the ONTAP, so whenever you are executing the the some ONTAP REST API task, right, it will actually translate into curl commands, in these curl commands, and you'll get response, HTTP response, header, all these things. I'll show what is happening at the back end of it, and then I'll show you how to write scripts for volume, to create a volume, to create a snapshot, to create shares, learns, exports, NFS exports, all the part of networking, broadcast domain, IP space, interface groups. We learn how to get those using or Python, and how to get how to do capacity reports using Python, and how to get performance metrics from using Python. And storage it also show how to do using Python. And then I will teach you Ansible, like there are 4 or 5 classes of Ansible will be done, and then I'll teach you how to do all those things using Ansible. And then I'll teach how to use Ansible for Hitachi, PowerMax, Pure, Brooked Sandwich, CVO. And then I'll go into the Terraform. I'll teach you the Terraform concepts, fundamentals. Then I'll teach you how to use Terraform for NetApp, FAS and AFF arrays, and also for CVO, okay? So these are the things I teach, and it will be I'm planning to add Infinidat, okay, and Compose also for automations, but it might take little while, okay, because I have not worked on Infinidat or Compose, so I need to at least know the manual part, otherwise I cannot use the Ansible for that, okay. But other things which I worked on, right, NetApp I worked on, Hitachi, EMC, Pure, so these things I can teach really well. So these things I'll teach you guys, okay. And you can also refer to my Udemy courses, these Udemy courses, okay. It is showing as 999, but normally the price will be like 300-400 rupees. You can buy it for only for 300 rupees, okay. And just check how I give the training, how I provide the training, and if you like it, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channels, which is here. You can just click on here, and you'll be able to get a lot of content for the NetApp and other things, NetApp storage automation, Hitachi, and all these things, okay. So I'll stop this session here. Hopefully you are able to get little bit of basic idea about how to do automations using Python. It is very easy. For NetApp, I install NetApp_ONTAP packages from Ansible Galaxy. For Brooked Sandwich we use PyFOS, okay. So thank you so much. So I'm stopping this here, and I hope to see you in my next batch.